Hi everyone, it's Nadia from YARNutopia. Today we're making this beautiful evergreen ornament. It is so cute and just a cute little extra piece if you wanted to give this a little handmade gift to somebody this holiday or add it to your own tree. This is a cute little ornament. You can add it as a gift topper, an extra embellishment to a gift, or just a nice little piece to your own Christmas tree this year. I saw something like this using ribbons and thought, why not crochet something like that? So I wanted to find out if I could do that, and this is what it came up with. So what I'm using today, these are all Red Heart yarns. This is Super Saver yarn, and I'm using in all different shades of greens and tans, and I'm using yellow for the topper, the tree topper star, but I'm just using different shades of greens here. One kind of went off to the side here, and these are just scraps. You're not going to need a whole lot, and when I explain this, 2 of these little pieces are 15 stitches, then 2 of them are 19 stitches, then 2 of them are 23 stitches, and then the bottom 2 are 27 stitches. So it's very small amounts of yarn you're going to need for this project, and you can use any shade of green, any shades of browns, any shades of whatever colors you want to make in this piece, and then we're just making these long strips and tying them in knots on a twig. So that's another thing you're going to need is a twig, a little stick to wrap this around. It just gives it a really natural look. And so I have an extra twig here. We just get one from outside, and you can use that. You can also use if you don't have a stick, if you need to buy like a little rod at the craft store, you can get rods at the craft store, but why not go outside and get a twig for free? Just make sure it's more straight than slanted, just because your tree may turn out a little wonky. The crochet hook I'm going to use, the smaller the better. You want your stitches to be very tight. So I'm using an E hook, which is 3.5 millimeters. You can go down to a 3 millimeter hook, which is a D hook, or you can go up to an F hook, which is 3.75 millimeters, but I wouldn't recommend anything higher than that. You want your stitches to be very tight to keep its shape and stiffness of this design. And you're also going to need a yarn needle and a scissor, because we'll be cutting our yarn and sewing in our ends. Those tools just come in handy, especially because we're changing color a lot in here. And then a little piece of thread or another piece of yarn will help to make this little loop at the top here to add as an ornament if that's what you want to use it for. So I'm just using this nice gold thread, but you can use any type of thread or any type of string to use for tying this behind your piece and adding it as an ornament to the tree. So that is how we're making this today with all those supplies. So before we begin making this though, I have to mention there are links in the description of this video. So I'll have a link to my blog, YARNutopia.com, where you'll get the written pattern for this and the photos and all that good stuff. All the supplies you are going to need and everything are in that blog, and how much yarn and everything. And then also there's a link to my Facebook and Instagram, so I would absolutely love it. This was a really fast project for me. So if you make this, I would absolutely love if you shared a photo on the Facebook or on the Instagram. Just hashtag YARNutopia on Instagram so I can see your work. You can also Snapchat me. I'm YARNutopia on Snapchat, so make sure you follow me there and snap me a photo of what's on your hook this holiday season. Let me know what gifts you're making. I think that this will be just adorable on the top of a gift box for somebody. Just a little extra ornament piece, and they can add it to their tree and always think of you when they put it on their tree. So I think that's really nice. Also, there's a link to everything else on my social media in the description of this video, so make sure you're following me everywhere and sharing your photos. I would absolutely love it. And now, last thing before we start, I have to say a big thank you to my dad, Fuad, Azmat, for taking the time to make this video with us. He's our videographer, editor, and photographer for every single one of our videos here at YARNutopia, so make sure you subscribe to my channel, and if you learned how to make this, or if you make this yourself, make sure to support YARNutopia by hitting the I in the corner of your video here, or hit the blue support button in my channel on YouTube, so you can get, we can keep bringing you these crochet tutorials, and if you, support us, I can just buy more and more yarn, so that's fabulous, and I can do these tutorials for you. So now let's get started and make this evergreen ornament. Alright, so I'm going to start out at the top of the tree and then we're going to work our way down. So I'm going to use just a shade of green here. Make sure you have just all your yarns all around here. And then we're going, yeah, see all of them are here, just the scraps here. We're going to start, every single one of these is going to be exactly the same except the amount of stitches. So this first one I'm going to make, all of them are going to make a slip knot. So put your short end over your long end, then fold this down and pull this through and pull tight, and then insert your hook, and we can start by chaining 3. Okay, this is going to be really tight stitching. We want it to be as tight as possible. So yarn over and pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, and 3. And then we are going to yarn over, okay, this is for all of the little strips that we're making. Yarn over, go into the first chain, so way over here, go in, then yarn over and pull through. Okay, pull up just a little bit. Yarn over and pull through only one of the loops. Okay, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 of the loops. Okay, that is our first foundation half double crochet. Now we are just going to make a bunch of these. So this first one I'm making has 15 of these. So that was 1. So yarn over. For our second one, we're going to yarn over, go down into the bottom part of this one we just made. So you can see there's 2 loops actually right here. There's this loop and then there's this loop. Okay, we're going to go into that just like that. Okay, so yarn over, go down underneath both of those loops. Okay, just like that. Then yarn over and pull through. Yarn over and pull through 1 loop. And then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Okay, that's our second foundation half double crochet. So again, yarn over, go down into that bottom part of it, right there, under both of those loops. You can see front loop and back loop. Yarn over and pull through. Okay, pull up just a little bit, yarn over, pull through 1, and then yarn over and pull through 3. So that's our third foundation half double crochet. So yarn over, go into the bottom part of it, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, or I'm sorry, pull through 1, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Okay, again, yarn over, go into the bottom part of it, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through only 1 loop, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 of the loops that are on your hook. Okay, how many is that then? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this first one I am making needs to have 15 of these foundation half double crochets. We're going to make 2 with 15 half double crochets. We're going to make 2 with 19 half double crochets. We're going to make 2 with 23 foundation half double crochets and 2 with 27 foundation half double crochets. Okay, so in total you'll have 8 of these little strips. Okay, so if you got confused there, the written pattern is on my website. Okay, you can find that at YARNutopia.com. I'm just continuing to make these foundation half double crochets until my piece is as long as I need it to be. Let me see how many I have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I'm going to do 5 more here. Just continue watching because then I'll show you when you get to the end of your foundation half double crochet row, we are going to fasten off, and I'll show you how to do that. Here, I have 3 left here. And you can see I'm kind of working like vertically, or I guess sideways up this thing like that. Just, it's easier to work just to get to that bottom part of the stitch. Okay. And if you wanted to, you could chain and then half double crochet across your chain, but this foundation row actually eliminates the fact that you have to chain and then work across the chain here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So once I have 15 of these for the top part, we have 2 of them for 15 stitches, 2 of them for 19 stitches, 2 of them for 23 stitches, and 2 of them for 27 stitches. So once you are done making your foundation stitches, to fasten this off, we're going to chain 2, and we're going to go down to the bottom here where we were making our stitches. Okay, no yarning over, just going into there, then yarn over and pull it through and pull it through your loop there. Okay, and then to fasten this off, we're going to chain 1 and cut your yarn, pull that through and pull it tight, and there's one of the strips. So now I'm going to grab my yarn needle. Okay, I'm going to yarn my needle with both of those strands there. We have one straggler strand on this side and one on the other side. We are going to sew them in to our piece. Okay, just hide them underneath these stitches. Doesn't have to be too fancy. Just going up with your yarn needle into it. Pull it tight. Stretch it out. Okay, go to the other side. Grab that yarn needle, okay, then sew that in on this side, underneath these stitches, okay, then stretch that out, make sure it's all stretched out completely, okay, and then we're going to chop the extra. Just be careful with your scissors, okay? And there's one of them, okay? So this one has 15 foundation half double crochets, so you need to make 2 of these in total. So now let me grab my other pieces. This is more of a craft project than a crochet project, but we are crocheting. So now I have 2 with 15 stitches here, okay? Then I have 2 with 19 stitches, 19 foundation half double crochets, then 2 with 23 foundation half double crochets, and then 2 with 27. Okay, so you can kind of see if I pulled these together and made them, you can kind of see the tree shape a little bit. It's gonna go like this. Okay, so what we're going to do now, once you have all 8 of these done, okay, so you want to make sure that you make these all 8 of them and line them up nicely. You can use any colors you want, any types of you know, yarn you want. I'm using the all Red Heart Super Saver yarns, okay, so I kind of broke it up a little bit using different shades of the greens and everything. So now, once you have all 8 of your strips, or however many strips you're making, just continue making. You could do like 3 of, you know, 15 stitches, 3 of 19, 3 of 23, and 3 of 27, or go more and more and more, and make yours as big as you want it to be. It doesn't have to be this size, but I liked this size, nice ornament size. So now grab your twig. Okay, as long as you need it to be, we're putting it on the piece like this, just to make sure that it looks good. Awesome, that's the length I want it to be. So now we're going to start tying these around this piece, okay? And I know you could do this project with ribbons. I've seen certain things like this with ribbons, but what's the fun then in not crocheting it? So I thought, you know, why not crochet this? So we're going to tie this around. So I'm going to start from the top and work my way down, and I'll show you how to tie this. So we're going to start down here actually. We're going to work upside down basically. And what we're going to do is put this in front, okay, like this. Put this down like this, and then this one underneath, okay? So you want your right side one, this one here, to be on the top of this side, okay, of your left side, but wrapped around this piece. Then we're going to take that right side that's on the top there, we're going to fold it down and come underneath in here, okay, and that's the hard part, especially with the shorter ones at the top. So you're really going to have to maneuver it and stretch it and pull it Okay, sometimes it may be easier to just remove the stick and then just tie your knot and then put the stick in your piece. But you make sure that you want to keep your piece even on both sides with the knot in there. Okay, and without twisting. This is more of a tedious part. Okay, so now I'm just going to put my stick back in. Hopefully it goes in between the stitches there. There we go. Okay, and then you want to just pull tight. Okay, and this part is where you're really going to have to maneuver your piece back and forth, kind of pull and stretch and make sure that your piece now looks like it's a V shape. Okay, you want it to be V-shaped because when we turn this back around and look at the front of it, it's going to look like an evergreen, how it's pointed at the top, like so. Okay, so it's going to point like this all the way down. Okay, so now we're flipping it back over, stretching this, and then we're going to grab the next piece. Okay, and just work up this piece. So we're going to put it in the front here, put this piece up, and this piece behind it. So you want this side to be over the top of this side, and then fold this back and pull it underneath this piece. Okay, these shorter ones at the top of your piece are going to be the most difficult and the most tedious, but I promise once you get past these ones, it gets much easier, and it's a labor of love, and it's going to look fabulous in the end. So you can just tie these in knots, just like I showed you. Make sure that you make it so it looks like a tree, just like that. Okay, so just continue tying them in knots up this piece, and then I'll meet you up and we'll go on to the next step together. Alright, so I just put all these pieces on here just like this. So this is what it should look like on both sides. One side is more flat and one side has the knots on it, so you can see that. I ended up actually having a casualty. One of the twigs I was using actually broke in half while I was doing it, so you have to be very careful when you're tying your knots on your twig here, because that one broke in half while I was halfway done, so I had to redo it. But this looks fabulous now, and I do recommend also, once you have them all on here the way you want them, you can kind of shape them and manipulate them, stack them nicely on top of each other, and then wet it down with some water, and then just like lay the flat side down and kind of just press this down like on a towel or something, and just let it like sit there for a little bit and let it dry, and that way it'll kind of block it into place. So that's how it's supposed to look. Okay, so this is the side we want to see. This side will be the back side. Unless you like this side, the look of it, you can totally have this be your front. But now we're going to actually set this aside. I'm still kind of letting it dry a little bit, and I'm going to make this the star, the tree topper. So I'm going to set this aside and grab my goal yarn, and we're still using the same size hook, that E hook, okay, 3.5 millimeters. And we are making a slip knot, so put your short end over your long end, fold that down, and then pull that through and pull it tight. Insert your hook, and then we're going to chain 2. So yarn over and pull through, 1 and 2. And in the second chain from the hook, we are going to put 10 single crochets in there. So go in, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Okay, that's a single crochet. So again, go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 2. Here's 3. Here's 4. This is 5. 6. 7. 8. 9 and 10. Okay, it's gonna get all squeezed in there but you want it to be really small as you can make it, so that's how it will look. And now we're going to slip stitch to the first single crochet. So go in, yarn over, pull through, and pull through. Okay, now going on to round 2, we're going to make the points of our star. So we're going to chain up, let's see here, I'll count here, double, double, half, single, and chain 1. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chain 5. Okay, sorry I didn't count that. And I don't have this written down right now in front of me. So we're going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook. So the loop on the hook doesn't count. So count 1 and 2 right in here. Go in, then yarn over and pull through, then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Okay, that's our single crochet. In the next chain, we're going to half double crochet, so yarn over. You can see I'm also working on that back ridge there. So go in, then yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. And then in these last 2 chains, we're going to put a double crochet in each one of those. So yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Again, yarn over, go into the next chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Then we need to skip this next stitch right here, and we're going to slip stitch into the next stitch. So go in, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through. Ooh, there we go. And there's one of your points. Okay, so we're going to repeat. We're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, single crochet into the second chain from the hook, then half double crochet into the next chain, and then double crochet into the next chain, and then double crochet into this last chain. Okay, then we're going to skip this next stitch here and slip stitch to the next stitch. So do that all the way around until you have 5 of these points for the star, and then I'll meet you back up and we'll fasten off. When you're finished with your last point here, we have to skip this last stitch, and then we're going to slip stitch right in here where our beginning slip stitch went into, where we first chained up 5. Okay, go in there, yarn over, pull through, and pull through. And now we can fasten this star off. So chain 1, and then we're going to get our scissors, there we go, cut our yarn, pull that all the way through and pull tight. Okay, and then we have a little star. You know, this star is really cute. Even if you use different sized hooks, you can make the star bigger. This is a cute little star. We just have to sew in some ends here. So I have my yarn needle. I'm going to sew in this end. Okay, just underneath these stitches, especially in the center hole here. If you started out with a magic ring, that is probably much easier. That way you don't have to do this step of sewing in these ends at the end, because your center circle will already be sewn up tight, but I always just sew in my end in the middle here. Okay, and then you can cut that just like that. And then I got this end to sew in real quick. Okay, so just yarn your needle and sew it in underneath a few of the stitches. Doesn't matter where, just as long as it's hidden, it's all good. Okay, and now we can attach this to the top of our tree, just like that. So you can either glue this down, or you can try to weave this underneath some of the loops back here. Okay, so you have to like stretch some loops out and then slide it onto the stick without breaking your stick. I already broke one stick, I don't need to break anymore. So just slide it down there and maybe run right here. Okay, so I'm just taking a loop from the back here and just pulling it, stretching it out and putting it over the twig. Okay, but like I said, you could definitely glue this on so that it stays. Okay, turn that around, and there it is. How lovely. Very crafty, very bohemian, and just very nicely done, handmade. So now we can add, if you want to, you can add a string to this piece to use it as an ornament. So just get some thread or another piece of yarn or something. I have this nice gold thread. So I'm going to just yarn my needle with that and go underneath some of the stitches from the star and around the twig. Okay, I'm going to cut it long and tie it in like a knot, like we make a slip knot. So take the 2 strands, okay, put the short end over the long end, and then back up into there. And you may need to pull that through with a hook. There you go. And then pull tight. Okay, and there it is. A nice little ornament for your tree. Also, this is nice for a gift topper, just an extra little piece for a holiday gift for somebody. It is so adorable. So I'm going to let it sit for a little bit. It's still kind of drying for me, so you can manipulate this to make it look more like a tree, kind of like the evergreen. But there it is. It's so lovely. Thank you so much for watching and learning how to make this evergreen ornament. I hope you enjoyed it. I might add a little piece of glue back there too, just to keep this star in place. But it looks so fabulous. So make sure if you make this to share your photos on Facebook and on Instagram and hashtag YARNutopia so I can see this. I hope you have a wonderful holiday, and this will just brighten up somebody's day if you add this to their gift this holiday. So thanks so much for watching, everyone. Happy hooking!